What is happening, people? You have made it to another episode of Gooner Down Under TV. And for today, there was so many different places we could go. I feel like there was so many different news stories. Thought I'd just, bring them all together. We're going to briefly touch on all of them. But before we do that, I want to make sure you guys are getting involved. So leave a comment on your thoughts of this new news that has come out. And as well, make sure to like and subscribe as it really helps out the channel. But for today's video, we're going to kick off with the news of Gabriel Jesus coming back to training. And it's not sort of just, training away from the squad, doing some drills. Seemed like he was in full contact training with the rest of the team, which was really good to see. No knocks on Eddie. Not his biggest fan, but I think he's done pretty well in Jesus' absence. But I think we do go up that one level higher when Jesus is in the team. You see the likes of Martinelli sort of expressing himself a bit more. I think he brings a little bit more out of the other supporting players as well. And I think as well, maybe he's not the most clinical striker, but I think he does finish tougher chances than Eddie. And I think sometimes against those low block teams especially, he may just be the better finisher as well. But Jesus is back in full training. I doubt he'll be, available starting this game coming up against Fulham on the weekend. But hopefully maybe he's ready for that United game in some capacity, even just coming off the bench and, providing a spark. Or we're going to have to wait for after the international break. But good news, Jesus is back. And we're starting to have some more striking options. Talking about striking options, Jesus coming in. Looks like Bologun is going out. It's looking like everything's heading towards his exit to Monaco. I think that's probably the best place for him, for us. There was a lot of reports of him going to Chelsea, and I just didn't want to see that at all. On the off chance that he just completely bangs there. I don't want to be strengthening a rival, and plus that Chelsea Twitter fan base would just have their way with us. I'm glad he's going to Monaco, go get goals in the French league. He was really good there last season, and I think there's no real talks about a price. I heard some speculation that it'd be above 35 million. I think if we can push it to about 40 mil, maybe plus some add-ons, that would be really good. So, yep, it's looking like Bologun is on his way out of the door. What do you think about that? Do you think we should have kept him? Do you think maybe he's better than Jesus, Eddie and Trossard? Or do you think it was the right decision to let him go? But that's not all for today regarding departures. Kieran Tierney is also looking like he is on his way out. It's looking like a loan to Real Sociedad. Mixed reports again on this one. Sky Sports is saying it's a loan with an option to buy. I believe Ornstein was saying that it's no option, it's just a straight loan where we'll get a little bit of a fee, plus they'll cover his wages. This one's a weird one for me. I think Kieran Tierney could have played for a better team than Sociedad. No disrespect, but I think a lot of teams could have utilized him. And I think especially any team that utilizes either fullbacks that just bomb the wings or a team with three at the back as a three-sided centre-back, I think those are his two strengths. And I think those are the positions where you really get to see the best of Kieran Tierney, which is why it's a bit of a surprise, when we went to sort of party at right back with three at the back. I think Tierney could have been really good as a left-sided centre-back, but we never got to see that. Arteta was always favouring Timber or Tomiyasu. And so, with that, Tierney was probably not having it, wanted his way out. He's going to Spain. He's playing Champions League football. If it's not an option to buy, maybe he does well and we can recoup a little bit of money. But let's go. Similar to Bologun, I'm glad he's not going to Newcastle or anything like that. Again, don't want to strengthen our rivals. We already need strengthening ourselves. And so I think it's good to get him away from the Premier League if he's not going to be with us. Now, moving on to Nicolas Pepe. Again, mixed reports. A lot of these things we're not getting that clear information on. A couple days ago, it was saying, Arteta's made a U-turn. He's going to try and bring him back into the team. Now we're seeing, he's not training with the team. There's links to Saudi. So where is this going to go? Personally, if we don't sign a backup right wing like Kudus, I wouldn't be against bringing him back as a backup to Saka. I think now it's going to be coming under very different expectations. He's coming in maybe just providing a spark off the bench. He is a good goal scorer. And I think, he may be able to do a job. Don't get me wrong. I think Pepe definitely has his sort of liabilities. He, focuses way too much on his left foot. Can't create that much on his own if he's sort of shielding to the right. And so, definitely not the star player we're looking for or we were hoping for. But I think as a backup, he's got more experience than Nelson. I think he can come in and do a job, especially maybe if we play him slightly more central, even on the left. Doesn't need to hug the touchline. I think that could be a good shout. But we're going to have to wait and see on Pepe. What do you think we should do? Do you think we should let go? Do you think we should try and reintegrate him into the team? Let me know down below. Now, we're nearly towards the end. This is the second last talking point. It's going to be all about Zinchenko. Tierney's gone. Tomiyasu's got a red card this game. Timber is out, so our left-back depth is looking very poor. And even then, a lot of those players I'm talking about are unreliable with fitness. Zinchenko tends to pick up a knock here and there, similar to Tomiyasu. And Timber, as we know, is out for the season. With a poor injury, it's very hard to come back from. Who knows how long that's going to take for him to get back to full fitness. This is why I'm sort of coming and talking about this. I think we need to find someone who can play left back. We have Saka, but I don't want to take him away from right wing. I think we may need to go back into the market, perhaps a loan with an option to buy or something, but I think we need depth. Because, Arteta was sort of saying he wants 2 people in every position. But when you're 2 people in the position that's quite injury prone, does that give you a lot of comfort? But for now, we're not bringing anyone in, at least for the meantime. But I hope Zinchenko is at least ready to start against Fulham. When he's fit, he always, plays an impact. You could see it last season when him and Jesus came. It transformed our team. And so hopefully he can stay injury-free. But I think we definitely need him sooner rather than later, especially for this game coming up. Fulham's probably not going to be as easy as everyone's thinking. They do have some decent players. I think if we perform to what we know we can, then I think we win. But I think this is definitely not as easy as people think. I think they got Tim Reed out with a red card, if I'm not mistaken. So it's looking like Bassi, their new signing from Ajax, is going to step into that centre-back position. Haven't seen much of him, but he does look good from what I have seen. So maybe that's something to look out for. Hopefully Adama Traore doesn't come in, make an impact. Paulinho as well came off the bench last game. And so he's probably going to be looking to start this one. Some little things, maybe making it not as easy, but I think, like I said, Arsenal should be able to take care of business. Hopefully Zinchenko slots back into left back, allows White to go back to right back, have our traditional back 4. Then what are we going to do in the midfield? Do we go Rice, Partey, Odegaard? Do we go Rice, Havertz, Odegaard? That's definitely something we're going to see coming up. Personally, I'm going to predict a 3-1 victory. I think it might be scrappy until we get our first goal. And I think from there, we will be sweet. But I think it's going to be an awkward first one, and then we're going to have to play out of that. Let me know, what do you think? What are your predictions for the upcoming game? Like I said, let me know down below. Like and subscribe. And for today, that's all for me. Peace.